Hi everyone, so this is the recent update to the 64 Dev Machine. I've just released version v018, which is literally the same version as this. It's just this way that I like to work, is that once I've released something I just update the number and start working on stuff and move forward that way. So it's a big jump since the previous version, I think version 08 or something, but anyway, I've done lots of housekeeping, I suppose, like making sure the comments all work. So this is the comment box where you can type in some words here, and it automatically sort of truncates the words and stuff like that. Basically, yeah, you can type in a lot of stuff there. It does 6 lines worth, and then that fills up your comment box. Your comment box can be put there and all that stuff. So I'm just going to load up the file that I supply, which is this one, just kind of your introduction one. I'll probably do a little kind of shortcut key to this, so it loads it right away, or yeah, embed it in there as part of a few example projects. It's all working quite well. I've now embedded Vice into the whole thing, so it comes with it, and you can just do build and run, and it will just boot up in Vice and do that. So this is what makes that happen. You can see there is the string that it pipes into the screen RAM, and I've kind of tried to explain how that works here. Yeah, clear screen basically going to fill with 20, which is space, and that fills up the screen RAM. That's the little loop that makes sure it goes back to that CLS point. This is your little loop for your branch not equaling 27, which if you toggle the decimal to hexadecimal, you see is 39, which is exactly the number of bytes. And this holds 40 bytes, so it's just a full line's worth of characters on the screen. So I think it would fit one more byte. So if I do another 0 in there, I would have to make this 40. And if I run that, then I'll get another 0. So you can see how this kind of works. Boom, there you go, and that's a full line's worth of characters. So you're just straight back into basic in any case. Right, and yep, there you go. So that is that. If you wanted to see what was in memory, you can either do a print peek, open bracket, and if you look at the addresses here, 2062, right, you can have a look at what's in 2062, close that, you'll get 120. 120 is, I think, is the instruction here, right? Don't quote me on that. And I think if I do 2063, I should get 0. Or 169. 169 is LDA. Alright, and if I do 264, I think that's actually 0, just because it's printing there. 0, which is that value there. And if I do 2065, that's 141, is that command, and then this will be broken down into 2 parts. Anyway, if you really want to see that properly, just go to your activate monitor here and do D. Let's click that back to hexadecimal and do D080E space, and well, basically the program finishes at 0830 and 0830, and that's basically the code there. So it's SEI, and clear your, I think it clears the interrupt, load the accumulator with 0, store in D20, that's your background gone black and your border gone black. LDA 20, you can see that there. So everything works as you would expect, as if you were coding in machine code. So it's pretty cool. You can, you know, make stuff up. You can see here this is labeled at 1200. You can change that to whatever you want. Doesn't matter what you change it. Well, it does matter what you change it to, because this here points at it. I think later I'll automate this so that it actually kind of connects up or something. You can connect up to some data and it will load it in that way. But either way, you just have to refer to it correctly. So if I do that and run it, it means now this is starting at 1201. Right. I think you can even put the PRG into C64 debugger, which I don't think I have here. But anyway, you can do the machine code check. So we'll just do D. So that's 1201 to, I don't know, it's 40 bytes. So 1230 should be enough, right? And you can see that it's all numbers, right? It might look like all garbage here, but it's actually the numbers that it's using. So C, ABC is 3, 36 is the number 6, right? 2 away from 36 is the number 4. So if you look up the ASCII table, you'll see that. Let's see if it's not really an ASCII table, it's more like the Commodore 64 C64 ASCII or PETSCII table codes. Right, there should be a kind of chart somewhere online that shows you the full. I guess that's it. Yeah. Open image in the tab. Yeah. So it's this here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you've got basically 36, 34, right? 36, 34. I guess this is in hexadecimal as well, so there you go. So that's it building up that string, and then it'll be a D, which will be a 4. So there's a space, that's the 20, and a 4, then a 5, which is E, and it's basically just, you don't get to visualize it here. I don't know if there's ways to visualize it in the monitor, but that's basically what that is. And yeah, so that's how that's been fed in. All that data has been fed in. Everything works. I'm super happy because I restructured everything from the back end. Initially, I couldn't point where I wanted data and all this stuff. It was talking nonsense to me because the data was just going straight into this location like after the program, and I couldn't kind of work it out, but I figured it out. I did make everything into buffers and stuff, and now what I want to do is so that's essentially one program, right? What I want to do is like another spine, is what I call these, so that you can continue kind of down this way, so you don't have to code a whole snake worth of code, right? You know, it could get quite busy. These graphs could look quite insane when it comes to a game. But I want it to be like you can, branch off here and then sort of wire it up to the top here and make another column and so on, so you can kind of read it horizontally like this way, and all that good stuff. I think it's possible to make a game just with the ASCII string. I mean, I'm up for anyone to use this. The challenge is if you can make a game just using ASCII characters. But the only thing is I don't know how to get that table. I don't know how to get that table into the values you need. You would have to type extra characters or whatever to make it convert to PETSCII code. Because it converts it internally, right? And it's converting these to PETSCII, so I would have to make maybe a new system so that you can get access to all those characters, because there's a lot. Yeah, there's 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 80, 128, I suppose. 16, 32, 64. Yeah, 128 different characters. How do you get 128 characters into? So you get 26 upper lowercase alphabet, 10, that's 52, 62, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6. Ooh, yeah, maybe another 10 there. Yeah, it's really hard to get all the characters you need through a normal keyboard. So I don't know. I'll need to make up some sort of ASCII editor table and then I'll need to make up a way to customize your own character sets, to make your own characters and fonts, and your own like level editing system, and your own sprite editor. Don't worry, that's the plan, is to make this into a full-blown C64 game editor where you can run and make actual games. I'm going to make it easy because I want to template stuff as well. I want to make things just be quite modular for someone who can just come in and say, I want to construct a sprite out of parts. I want the sprite to move this way and that way, and it would already have these little code blocks ready to go. So this is a newborn baby, as you see it right now. It's not even opened its eyes, barely opened its eyes. When people start using this, it'll be interesting, because the challenge right now is, can you make a game just using the ASCII string stuff, using the data pointers there? That's the challenge. So someone who manages to make something in version 18, that's kind of like a pinnacle point. Well, there might be bugs, right? I've not seen any obvious bugs yet. Everything seems to be working quite well. Yeah, that's really it. So you can build and run here. There's no debugger or anything like that. It either works or it doesn't. You know, it's like you can put garbage in. Like I could throw that over there, right, and just do you know, a build and run, and it will still run. Essentially, it will just. It's not cleared this part of the screen, but you don't see it, right? That's all that's done. I can move something out like that there, right? And now it won't print that. It's quite hard. It's quite easy to just let it run. Yeah, so it's just not printed this. So all I need to do is just wedge that back into there and build it again. You can click here, you can click up here, you can press F5 and it'll just work. Yeah, there's stuff stuff I want to do with it. See, I'm just thinking there, when I moved that out there, I thought about something, I forget what it was now. Anyway, there's loads of things that can happen with it. If anyone wants to just suggest things, sure, I'm all ears. It's just going to be a lot of work. Whatever I do, it will just get put onto a kind of like to-do list. There's a lot of things I still want to do. Definitely I need to work on the data blocks, even if we get external data brought in, and stuff like that. Yeah, that's really it. If you want to get rid of comment, just ditch it over here. This is kind of like this panel. If you just throw stuff into this panel, it'll magically go away forever. So yeah, or you can drag stuff into your blocks in here. Doesn't really matter. These are just code blocks, so they're good for what you're trying to do. So these are your address labels to jump to. And yeah, everything's is quite nice. So you can organize, if you wanted, you can just like put comments in as a way to separate stuff. You can edit your comments. You can, like, you know, clear them off like that. You can put like dashes in if you wanted. You know, make a kind of interesting separator like that if you wanted. Yeah, the next key thing to do is to, oops, press escape and commit that. The next key thing for me to do is get the multiple spines working, or like change the origin of the program. So for example, you start with this, but then we might want to switch where we actually code from. We might actually want to point back to 08OE again, or 0800. We can make it do that and overwrite where it, you know, the sys command that actually booted the program to get a few extra bytes. That's all possible. I'm going to try and do that maybe today or Monday. But yeah, it's possible to make something. You can get the joystick input values and stuff like that. I'm going to try that out. I've actually got my USB joystick here, and I'm itching to try it and see if I can get it to behave and work through Vice, of course. There's no emulator here built into this. It just fires up Vice, which is great. So I don't have an undo. That's what I was going to say. There's no undo button, right? So just make sure you save. You know, if you do a change, save it as something. Just get into the habit of just saving it as a new change. That's basically what I do, is I kind of source control, right? Just get into the habit of that. What I will do is make an autosave system. Every time you move something, it will save that, and then you basically, like, it will just on the fly just load it up again if you did an undo. So yeah, that's kind of it really. It will get better as time goes by. This is only the first few weeks I've been at this. The first couple of weeks was just brainstorming the idea and getting all the mnemonics in, and then making sure I could play a SID track, which I managed to do, see in another video. And then I just started to populate the whole thing with all the different mnemonics and making sure they were right, double checking them, testing them with different little program setups. They're not all fully tested. Tested them quickly, and I just need someone who knows how to use all these properly, and suggesting stuff is the most important thing as well, because I don't really know what a programmer would need. The best thing I've thrown in just now is like how many bytes each thing is, how many cycles out of how many is being used up, so that you can kind of see when it becomes like a full scan line. If you're doing any interrupts or anything like that, you can know kind of where the scan line might be. I think that's how it works. So yeah, there's actually a problem with that. Just not really showing you a total. It's kind of redundant, these PAL and NTSC things, because I've not updated them in a while. But I think the cycle thing is all you need. I'd probably get rid of these. I'll do some like check boxes so that you can like optimize the viewport and get rid of comments and stuff like that. If you bring in a node or two and you don't want them, just press F1, it will clean them up. Reset the view, load and save, toggle full screen, build and run, and that was the cleanup that I did that. Oh, okay, I just noticed something. This button cleans up your comments. I need to check that. I never knew that was the case. I thought if I just press F1 it only does it, but this cleans up the comments as well that are loose. I think yeah, anything that's loose actually, including that, it will clean it up, so you lose all that stuff. It probably still happens, but it's cleaned up. I don't know. I'll need to fix that. I'll fix that next, because if people press this button they lose all their comments. Anyway, what do you think of this, guys? I'm looking forward to making stuff and definitely see what you guys can make of it. If you can do the ASCII challenge, can you make a game just with the ASCII data? Can you hack it? Can you do something interesting? I'd love to see what you come up with. Obviously your code's just going to be one long line. Don't get too precious about it, because the save system might change, so whatever you make will be locked into this version. But it's possible to make something by poking and peeking at all sorts of codes through these LDAs, just as you would with pokes and peeks with basic and stuff. So that's it really. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.